Greetings YouTube, got 3 bits of news. I will do my absolute best to fly through as quickly as possible, no promises, so this video is probably going to be 5 hours long. Feel free to skip ahead to the bit you're interested in, or turn the video off, you could always do that. First up, Avengers characters. We've had some of them confirmed, but dataminers have found a list in the PC version with a bunch of other characters that might be in the game. Control's Ultimate Edition has massively pissed off the fan base owing to how it pertains to the next gen version of the game. And console wars, are they over? Probably not. So let's start with Avengers, the various characters. We already knew that Hawkeye was going to be in it, he's already been announced, and Spider-Man as well. As long as you own a PS4. If you own an Xbox or PC, fuck you, you're not getting Spider-Man. Seriously, he's the most popular I know the argument about Spider-Man, the game, being a PlayStation exclusive, it's still bullshit. Okay, I hate exclusives. I hate the fuck out of them. Anyway, we've had a trailer now confirming the first character that's going to be added into the Avengers, is what I was trying to say, and it will be Kate Bishop. Okay, we kind of expected Hawkeye would be the first one. Bow and arrow, like Hawkeye, but she can teleport. So, not totally the same. Here's hoping. Hawkeye is apparently going to be added in November, so she's presumably going to come before then. So, dataminers have pulled some reference from the PC version of Avengers, and they've uncovered a list of characters starting with a prefix unlock playable character. Which means that all of these characters are potentially in Avengers. Ant-Man, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Falcon, Kate Bishop, Marvel, Mockingbird, Quake, Scarlet Witch, She-Hulk, Vision, War Machine, Wasp, and Winter Soldier. First thing I'll say is that there's no Hawkeye or Spider-Man on that list. I don't know if it's because the dataminers found them and then the website I took the list from didn't bother listing them because we already knew about them. But if that's the case, then why is Kate Bishop on the list? You know, I'm a little bit confused as to why they're not on the list. Anyway, some of these characters are more likely than others, I think. Black Panther, obviously Chadwick Boseman has passed on due to cancer. And this wouldn't be the only video game to include him as a form of memorial. We've already seen Fortnite have a Black Panther statue up. So I think that this, in particular, Black Panther has just been bumped up the pecking order. If he wasn't scheduled to be in the game, he probably is now. Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, I wanted spellcasters to be in this, or spellcaster style characters, to mix up the play styles a little bit, so these would be good to have. Mockingbird, I had to look this character up. It turns out I already know who it is. It's Bobby Morse from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I just don't remember her being referred to as Mockingbird, but whatever. Quake from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well, other things besides, but yeah, the Inhumans are already in this game, so that makes sense. I've also got some characters which are a bit odd by their inclusion. Ant-Man, because Hank Pym apparently can't do the shrinking thing according to the game's story, so I can only assume that it might be the other guy. I've temporarily forgotten his name. Apologies for that. Terrible memory for names have I got. She-Hulk and War Machine, a little bit too similar to Hulk and Iron Man, so they're a little bit odd by their inclusion as well. Between Ant-Man and Wasp, I think I prefer to have Wasp. I mean, she's got wings and blasters. You know what I mean? Second piece of news, Control. 505 Games, who created it, have recently released the Ultimate Edition. So it's basically the base version of the game plus the DLC, plus the season pass. And players are pissed. Because as it turns out, the owners of the Ultimate Edition will be given a free upgrade to the next gen version of Control. But not if you own the regular version. And not even if you own the season pass as well. Because apparently, because people own Control and they own the season pass, and the Ultimate Edition contains exactly those two things, those people seem to think they therefore own the Ultimate Edition and earn the right to a free next-gen upgrade. Bollocks. I'm sorry, I really apologise for siding with the AAA publishers and developers at this point, but no, you don't. Okay? You either own the Ultimate Edition or you don't. Just because you own the 2 bits doesn't mean you own the Ultimate Edition. This smacks a little bit to me of gamer entitlement. I had to go away and look up when Control came out. Apparently it came out about 13 months ago. Just over a year. In August last year. I didn't realise it had been that long. I was thinking like, well, it must have been released about 6 or 8 months ago. It wasn't. It's way further back than that. The original game released way too far back for anybody to be granted access to the next-gen version just because they own this one. The Ultimate Edition has only just been released. If the game had released, say 2, 3, maybe 4 months before the next-gen console came out, I'd say yeah. Yeah, definitely include a next-gen version for free. Because the problem is that if people buy it on current gen, and then the next gen comes out, it's going to render the version obsolete. The people are going to wait. They'll just think, no, I'll wait until the next gen console comes out and then buy it on there. And then it may get to the next gen console and they might forget to buy it. Which means that 505 games might lose a sale. It makes sense to upgrade to the next gen version for free if the game had released recently, which the Ultimate Edition did, but the regular version didn't. So no, I'm sorry, you don't get a free next gen upgrade if you have the regular version of the game. I bought the game when it came out for a review 13 months ago. It's nowhere even close. I will say this though, 505 games, you haven't exactly helped the situation. First of all, by lying to everybody, because you said, oh, it's impossible to upgrade because we're working on the next gen version of the Ultimate Edition, not the current gen one, so we can't make it work. No, you could. You absolutely could. I know that my console talks to the online system all the time. You absolutely could tell whether I had the components necessary to add up to the Ultimate Edition. You could. You just don't want to. I understand why, and I even agree with it. But it was a bullshit excuse, even so, and everybody saw through it, and quite rightly so. And then they really didn't help their case when they accidentally unlocked the Ultimate Edition and some people activated it. And then they took it away from them. That probably pissed off some people more than the bullshit excuse in the first place. Giving them something for free and then snatching it back. You never want to do that. So 505 games, you didn't help yourselves here, but I do actually agree with you. There's no reason to give the regular version owners a free next-gen version of the game. It's been too long. That's just gamer entitlement, is that? You're not entitled to it at all. And finally, the console wars. Are they over? Probably not, but I can dream. Each of the main consoles at the moment, that's Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, each one of them seems to be doing their own thing right now. Microsoft's Xbox is looking to offer a range of services across many different things. You've got Xbox Live Gold, the Game Pass, the xCloud, and a bunch of games, both past and present, being added in. Lots of services, and kind of like the last Xbox, they wanted to make it an all-singing, all-dancing machine. I think that after the last generation, Sony's PlayStation focused completely on games and the gamers. It feels like Microsoft have kind of thrown in the towel trying to compete with them. Because Sony's PlayStation 5, they're clearly trying to get everybody over to the PS5 as quickly as possible. They're, again, next generation, they're aiming purely at gamers. It's what they did brilliantly with the PS4. PS5 is doing exactly the same thing. Meanwhile, the Nintendo Switch is sat in the corner doing its own thing. And it's carved out, well, I'm tempted to say it's carved out a niche for itself. It's not so much a niche at this point. It's kind of like PlayStation and Xbox have carved the island up between them. PlayStation has like 2/3 of the island, Xbox has 1/3. And then Nintendo Switch has just magically built an island off to the side, which is almost as big as the other two. I look at these three consoles and they are pursuing radically different strategies. Which makes me think maybe the console wars are over because they're not actively competing with each other. Not really. Even though they're all kind of game consoles, they're not doing the same thing. I do hope so. The console wars don't benefit gamers. I'm pretty bloody sure about that. A lot of the a lot of things the AAA industry does not benefit gamers. I mean, I've already said I hate exclusivity. It was so hilarious when PlayStation owners exploded when they realised that Horizon Zero Dawn will be offered up to Xbox and PC owners. How dare they? I was just laughing, thinking, guys, it's not like they're going to take your copy of Horizon off of you. More people are going to play the game. What's so bad about that? And then you've got kind of the opposite happening. The Xbox had an exclusive called Scalebound. You know the one I mean, the one where the guy has a sword and a pet dragon. Even though I don't have an Xbox, I wanted to see more of that. I was annoyed, a little bit annoyed that I wouldn't get to play it. Because again, I hate exclusives. But I wanted to see more of it and then they cancelled it. I wasn't even going to get to play it and I was bloody annoyed when they cancelled it. I hate exclusives. Anyway, the platforms do this kind of bullshit all the time. It doesn't benefit the players. I mean, I'm pretty sure it doesn't benefit the developers of these games either. It probably benefits the publishers. The ones who pay for and get all the lion's share of the money, no doubt. But gamers? No. The platforms benefit most from things like exclusivity and all this shit. It's just not worth getting involved. Please don't get involved.